The young African boy and his father walked up the cold stone steps of the temple in the hour just before dawn. The light, rising from behind the distant mountains to the east, beyond the wide bay, was just beginning to spread across the city. He was only 9 years old, but the boy had lived here all of his short life, and knew every street and back alley. He had wandered every day from the pottery kilns and metalworking quarters on the edge of the massive city walls to the enormous central marketplace beneath the hill called Byrsa, where merchants sold beautifully decorated Celtic daggers, necklaces of Baltic amber, Spanish silver, painted ostrich eggs from across the desert to the south, sweet Egyptian dates, Indian spices, the best Arabian frankincense, and even silk from distant China, all the treasures of the known world which flowed endlessly into the great port of Carthage. His father, Hamilcar of the Barca clan, was the greatest general Carthage had ever produced, but the politicians and wealthy merchant families who controlled the town preferred negotiation and compromise to warfare. Hamilcar had watched in silent rage several years earlier as the Carthaginian Aedirum, or Senate, had abandoned the ancient Punic colonies in nearby Sicily to the rising power of Rome. They had even agreed to pay the Romans an enormous indemnity in silver to buy peace. Hamilcar was now on his way to Spain to take over the rich mines of Iberia to help pay the heavy burden imposed on his city by Rome. The father and his eldest son together entered the cool darkness of the great temple of Baal-Haman, chief god of Carthage. Baal, the master or lord, had come with the first colonists from Phoenician Tyre centuries before, when they had sailed to the western Mediterranean in search of new markets and lands to settle. Story said that Baal demanded a mulk, or gift, of the firstborn child from each family. At the Tophet, or sacrificial sanctuary of Carthage near the harbor, the great, outstretched metal arms of Baal's statue received the child, who rolled gently into the flaming pit at its base, while the parents watched and the attendants played loud music to cover the infant's screams. In recent years, animals had sometimes taken the place of children, though the god could still demand a human victim. But not today. This was a day for beginnings, when Hamilcar